Right, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in our little geekdom, and welcome to another Our Little Geekdom podcast. I got it right! We are on episode number 36.
It's the very first one from the new year.
Yes, the very first. 2022! We are in 2022. For the first time ever, you are seeing the SA Geeks in 2022. Anyway, we would like to welcome our special guest, someone who lives up here in rather warm, for some odd reason, Scotland. WeeTam, or WeeTam2000 is his full name, but we call him WeeTam. He says we call him, what was the other one?
Tam. Just Tam. Other name shall come, but
Tam.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Tam. Tam, before we we're not going to go into any questions just yet. First, we want to find out a little bit more about yourself. Who are you as a content creator?
I like games. Let's just start with that, shall we? I like to make people laugh. If what do you call it? Something's worth doing and sounding funny and putting a smile on someone's face, I'll do it. If I'm going to be honest. Most people would just shut their trap. No, not me. There's no barrier between my head and my mouth. So
the filter broke many years ago.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But yeah, I think it's just up for a good time, really. That's really
That's good. So it's nice. So we looked at your Twitch and we see what games you play and stuff like that. You seem to play quite a few. You're quite a variety gamer. You don't really have a particular your variety gamer. I suppose you're very eclectic, is a good way to put it, as a gamer. So you don't really have a specific style from what we can see, or a particular genre that you choose. You just go in and play.
Yeah, I like a good variety of games.
Excuse me. That's always good to know. But as of last year, what was your favorite game that came out last year? I want to find that out. That's a very good question to know.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what came out last year.
Very few games that came out last year.
Right, let's make it between 2020.
Yeah. 2 years. We'll give you 2 years.
What the hell came out? That's what I'm trying to remember. I quite like getting into Deathloop, if I'm going to be honest.
I think Kez wants to play Deathloop.
I actually streamed that a wee bit, and then I just realised how vast it was, and I was like, oh, okay, this is much more than I was expecting. But I like getting into that, and I like the full concept of the game when they first brought it out was really fascinating to me, because there's a Doctor Who episode that I really liked. And it was basically what I had to do in order to get out was to die thousands and thousands of times in order to progress through.
Okay, yeah.
And this is exactly that. So the more times you die, the more information you get, the further you progress, the next time you're most likely to survive. And
sounds rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, I actually didn't know what Deathloop was, so to be honest, I haven't played Deathloop, so I don't really know what it's about. But I have seen, I see it's on Xbox Game Pass, so we might give it a shot at some point. I think it's still on Game Pass. I don't know actually, but there's always that possibility that I might just jump into that. But at the moment, I'm on Come, and I'm not. I can't stop at playing Kingdom Come right now. Because I like being a knight. I like putting armor on and sword fighting and getting my ass handed to me by stronger knights. Excuse me.
I did notice that you also play Raft, and obviously you play that with Eni and a few other friends. Have you played any other survival games out there, or is it just Raft? Like out of the survival type?
Raft is brilliant because you're doing it with, what do you call it? I'm doing it with Teeny, Fudge, Copper, and Toast, and we just bounce off each other. I'm really, what do you call it? I'm really the cheeky one of the bunch because what was it? Toast. What do you call it? They're known as the cook. So they, what do you call it? Teeny fishes, puts the stuff in the chest. Toast takes it out, cooks it, puts it in another chest, and they put signs that just like food in, food out. So yeah, me being me, I went and changed the signs. So I won't say what I changed them to because I don't know, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Something slightly dirty, but we all get a good laugh out of it.
The channel's not family friendly. You can we've made sure that it's marked as 16.
Oh, is it? Well, I put what was it? Because of the raw fish coming in, it was raw me daddy. the cooked fish was cook me daddy. And then, not eat me daddy, that was what it was, what do you call it, because it's been cooked and then you can eat it. And then there was another, we had a water station, so you could go up and fill your water bottle, and it was moist me daddy. So that was, the thing is, it took about 4 weeks for them to realise that I've changed the signs. I didn't tell them.
It sounds like something I would do. Although I was more obvious because we play with obviously a whole bunch of creators on Friday night, and we were playing Valheim the one night. And, yeah, and our editor, he's basically, he knows the game better than everyone else. So
he's also a toast.
He's also a toast, yes, but he's an EvilToast because his name is EvilToast. Damn. So he tells us, no, this is what has to happen. He builds his whole base and then he puts this, he calls it idiot proofing around the fire so that no one can run into the fire, right? Except I was being a dick, so it started raining and I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to be a real dick and jump on the fire. Fire can't hurt you when you're wet. So I jump on the fire. And I'm like, hey guys, look, I'm not dying, and the fire just breaks, and he's like, he goes, oh come on, what the hell? Come on, why would you do that? So I'm like, relax, dude, I'll just make another one. But the reaction was the best.
The most fun was he was carrying a cart behind him, and I because we were going to go and mine for copper and wood and stuff like that, and it was just the two of us. So he was carrying the cart behind his character, and I didn't feel like walking, so I jumped in it. And as I jumped in it, I said, "Mush!" Oh, I was not doing that.
Oh god,
yeah, we know how to piss our editor off. We know, and he the great thing is we as you said, we don't censor the channel, so we don't put the bleeping or anything in because of the fact that it's over 18 or over 16, so we don't really censor that much. But if it wasn't, I would start swearing up a storm just to piss off it off. We'd have to put a beep in every single time, I swear. I've done that once, and he hated me. So I told him he doesn't have to do it because we're the channel is it's restricted, so he's allowed to, he can leave the swearing in. So, and he got sick of trying because I'd sit there and swear for no reason just because I know that he's
but
gonna
it's
have to sit there and
also
put a
when
beep
you
in.
play games, you don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
And we don't just do the podcast, we do gameplay as well. And to sit and try and get rid of all those little words.
yeah, stuff in the backside.
Yeah, and YouTube's rules on that are ridiculous. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, okay, well, age restricted, screw it. We're not going to get monetized anyway, so we'll just.
Yeah, just fire them.
But I still want to know the answer to the question. Which is your favorite, aside from Raft, have you played any other survival games?
Minecraft is probably the most obvious one, and that well, I left Minecraft for a while because the update was coming out, the Caves and Cliffs update.
Oh, yeah.
And then the first part of it came out, and I was like, yes! And then I went in, and I was like, where are the caves? These are the same caves. And then what do you call it? And then, as you know, it's split into two parts. So the first part of it, like all the copper, ore, and stuff that came out, and then they eventually brought the caves out. And I am starting to get back into it, and I'm loving it right now. And I'm going back to basics, trying not to look into enough work stuff out, how to craft things and whatnot. And would say that's my favourite Minecraft.
No.
So
that's a good choice. I mean, I like my Minecraft. I like modding Minecraft though, so I like put like different. And I've put in the whole automated building thing where or the where everything's electronic, so you can just basically chuck everything in electronic. I like doing that. No, I always wanted Minecraft to actually bring out their own version of that. So but I see that they never did. So I saw there's another game, Satisfactory, that came out, and actually told me about that one. So I said to him, "No, well, maybe I'll get that because Satisfactory actually looks like kind of a fun game where you can just like build factories and stuff, but still a survival game. Interesting."
Yeah. I've always wanted to try the Tech-It for Minecraft.
Tech-It, yeah. It looks really good, but it broke my Minecraft the last time. So
Well, there we go. Better scrub that one off the list.
No, give it a shot. Maybe it'll work in yours. I think I may have done it wrong though. That's the whole thing. I may have added it incorrectly or something. So there's always a chance that yours might work because it's me. I mean, I always break things. It's the joy of being a techie. You know, you fix things, but you break them too.
Yes.
So you were saying, sorry, you were trying to say something there.
Yeah, what do you call it? I would just like to try that just for something different because I've always really been vanilla Minecraft. I've always just liked what it has to offer and nothing added on it.
Yeah.
Because when it started to get into stuff like different things with like health bars and stuff like that, I was a bit like, right, okay, this is kind of going far beyond Minecraft now. Because I like. I had a friend and we went and just done a lot of. We done little, obviously, mine diamonds and whatnot, but then we started to get into redstone, and I love redstone. Doing redstone things because we done an automatic iron farm.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Done an iron farm. We done what else did we do? Well, one of the things that I do.
Automatic iron farm though, you have to mine iron.
Yes, but you use iron golems. So what it is you need to make a contraption where next to put it up in the air, and then you put beds with villagers next to it, and then the iron golem spawns on top of a platform that you've made, and you've put water down so it pushes the iron golem into lava and pushes it in, and then so it dies in the lava, iron falls into the water below, and then it pushes it into a hopper and puts it into the chest. And because then there's no iron golem anymore, it spawns another one onto the top, pushes it in, and it repeats itself.
So it's the villagers are the ones that actually spawn the iron golem.
Yes.
That is insane. How do you know which villager will do that though, or do you just place them in specific spots?
Just any of them. You just need two villagers and a zombie, and that's it. Because when you call it it's a certain block radius where they're scared, and because they're scared, it would spawn an iron golem. So that's how it works.
That makes sense. That's actually really clever. Jeez, like.
So you've made these poor villagers scared all the time, just like.
Can we cut that bit
out? You bloody sadist.
I'm rolling an iron. I don't care.
As long as you're running an iron, it doesn't matter. Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. So, no, with the automation, the only thing I've ever actually managed to do with automation is a tree farm, or a wood farm, should I say? And that was like very basic. I didn't even have a hopper to actually pick up the wood. It fell into boxes next to the trees. That's what I did. It was the closest thing to automation I've ever done in Minecraft. I'm really not good at the whole figuring that part out. Give me a puzzle in like Mass Effect or any of the other games out there, like or give me what's that one game that I do with puzzles? brain stopped working. I've got a lot of games that I play, so I don't know which one it is. I'll see now. It's not there. It's not there. Vampire the Masquerade was one of the puzzle games that puzzle I enjoyed. But give me those kinds of puzzles where it's like you've got to figure out what happened, and then you got to find certain items in certain places. I'm fine with that. But try and make me build something automated, and this is coming from someone who's a technician or a PC engineer. I can't do it.
Harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. And I'll figure it out eventually, but it takes time. So I mean, everyone has to learn somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and then you grow from there. But yeah, so Minecraft seems to be your big one. That seems to be the
one
big game
that I've played from childhood. So it's always stuck with me.
Okay, it makes sense. I see you got PS4 games in the back there, so I assume you have a PS4.
Yes, I've got a PS4, PS3, PS2, and a PS5. So
nice.
I'm on the hunt for a PlayStation 1, but
I was just about to ask, why not one?
I know, I'm looking for one.
Depending on where you stay, they have one at there's a shopping mall in East Kilbride that there's a CEX there that actually has a PS1.
Oh, really?
The old big PS1. So if you go to that CEX, you might find it there. I don't know if they've sold it yet, but I did see it there the other day. So if you want to, there's a PS1. I also want to come.
A CEX.
Not all of them. No, they're very hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
PS1s are very hard to find. But yeah, I did see one at the CEX in East Kilbride, so there's always that. You can try that and see if you can get something coming from there.
Because my favorite game. Oh well, I assume you were going to ask a question like this, but my favorite game of all time is Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
I grew up with it. My dad. Right, this is going to be a tragic story, right? Sad moment. So, my dad was playing it one day, and then me being 1-year-old me, or 5-year-old me, I can't remember, I stood on the console when he was playing it. Yes. So, but the thing is, it was done up with the Crash Bandicoot stickers and everything, so everything in it. I've always, tried to get it back, so that PlayStation 1 back, so just I got one! I'm not going to stand on this one. I'm pretty sure if I stand on it now, my foot's going to go through the thing. But
yeah, probably.
But Crash Bandicoot, it's just so fun.
It is. Crash Bandicoot is a very fun game. Kez thinks that's my favorite game of all time, but she knows for a fact that it isn't.
No, it's your favorite
game
old.
Of all time. My favorite old game to play is still Medieval. And will always be Medieval. Have you ever played Medieval?
I have not, but I've seen it, and I've it's kind of like that kind of game, isn't it? Like Crash Bandicoot, like Spyro type.
It is similar to Crash Bandicoot, but you play as a Dan Fortescue essentially.
Skeleton with no bottom half. So when you talk, you just go, and people understand what you say.
Yeah. Well, I mean. The jokes are also like really they're stupid but they're witty. It's like the one Amazonian, she goes, "Yes, no need to be so coy with me, Dan. I've seen you giving me the eye. He's only got one eye." Silly things like that. Yeah, so it's like silly things like that. But the gameplay was also quite fun for me, and it was the very first game I ever got on PS1. So when I got to PS1. For the very first game I ever got was Medieval. Second one, Resident Evil 2, which I played to death. And so obviously when they both came out on PS4 and they were remastered, I got them both.
Yes.
Then Crash Bandicoot came out and I was like, I gotta get that, so I got that.
I'm guessing you have the remastered one.
Yes,
you probably got Crash Team Racing as well, though, don't you?
Yes, I do actually.
I don't. It's the one I don't have yet.
There you go.
Nice. It's the one I don't have.
Okay, what do you call it? I can remember I really get into Crash again, like in my high school years, like just around about 2018. And I was like, they have to make another one of this. Like they can't. Like it's been so long, and I genuinely went into it. Like I was like, right, okay, there has to be something, and then there was like people saying, oh yeah, it's coming back. There's this coming here, and there was like a picture in the when the PlayStation first came out, the PlayStation 4 first came out, when they announced it in the announcement trailer, and there was a sign where it had Crash Bandicoot on a street sign, and I was like, oh, and I love things like that. They make me think, and I'm like, right, I am looking out for this. And next thing you know, it just came out and it just went, yeah, Crash 1, 2, and 3 all remastered. And then I was like, you're joking. Yeah? Oh my god! And then when it first came out, I went and completed the first game in the first day. So I completed the first.
So hard on some of the maps. Did you, until they updated the game, didn't you find it quite difficult with the controls for number 1? Because they put the controls for number 2 and number 1.
Yes, I realised that as well. I was like, oh, that's a bit. The bridge level. Oh my lord.
The anger that actually spewed from me.
He threw a controller across the room.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually did. I got so pissed off I threw a controller across the room. And I don't generally throw controllers because they're expensive. So I don't generally throw controllers. But I just lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck? So the controller did survive. I have to admit, I was, but that was like the first time in a very long time that I actually rage heavily on a game, and that was the bad controls. That bridge level was murder though. It really was. I agree with you 100%. But with that, what other classics did you buy? Did you get any other remastered classics?
I've got the Nitro Field, as you know. What else have I got? I don't really know if I've got any other remastered ones. Have I? I don't think I do. I think that's literally the only one I've got.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with Crash. There's nothing wrong with Crash.
If I've got Crash, that's all that matters. I'm good with that.
Well, yeah, I can see like the little mod. I don't know what I can see the little mod.
Oh, Aku.
Yes, Aku. Boobra. I can never do it properly. Still funny that.
There is another few games I would like them to remaster, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. So.
Yeah, one of the games that I played when I was a kid as well was Final Fantasy VII. When they remastered that, I was like, oh no, awesome! They're bringing out a remastered version of it. Great! I'm really happy about that. And then they only brought the first part. I'm like, okay, now you guys are actually cheating people out of money.
Yeah.
Because this is like the first part of 3 parts of a game. What the fuck?
That's a pure rip-off.
Yeah, I was like, no, I can't do this. And I was like, yeah, no, Square Enix is getting greedy. They're getting very greedy. But you know, okay, I have a problem with a lot of big developers that actually get greedy. So you'll find that I don't like EA.
I don't like football, so I'm right there with you.
The only reason I like it is because they give you this.
True.
Yeah.
True.
There are some good games that came out of EA, and that was a long time ago. But also, I don't really count anything made by BioWare an EA game because it was actually BioWare that made the game. EA just bought them out. So, like your Dragon Ages were quite good games. I enjoyed those. Mass Effects up to 3. Andromeda. Gameplay was great. Story was very boring. But I liked the gameplay for Andromeda, but that was about it. The story was really it was a lackluster story. That was quite good. Those were quite good. And then of course the older ones, which aren't owned by EA, which is like your Baldur's Gate, your Icewind Dales, and all of those. Those weren't owned by EA. They were owned by BioWare. So I classify those as BioWare games. EA didn't really offer me much except for maybe the Battlefield titles, and even that, it's like now look at 2042, or don't.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to the way of COD when Advanced Warfare happened. It's like getting all futuristic, and then everyone's like, "No, bring it back," and then they bring it back, and it's like, "Yeah, we don't know what to do now." So,
The thing is, they went 2042 and they went slightly advanced, and people seem to start enjoying the game, but then it bombed out. It was like people got not people, but the maps were just there was no content left in the game.
yeah.
And the updates were I mean not the updates, the game itself was broken, was as broken as Cyberpunk. And that's saying something, you know. It was like, actually no, you know, the game that was most broken was actually the GTA series. That was more broken than Cyberpunk when it came out.
Yes.
And they were making fun of CD Projekt Red as like, Take-Two will never bring a game out that's broken like Cyberpunk did. Like a year later, broken.
Do you play GTA? How do you that you have to live with?
Yeah, true. I've only really played GTA. Well, let's just say my mum never liked me playing GTA, so I was that kid. But I was never allowed to play a game like that. But then when it came out, I think it was last year or the year before. I think it was the height of Christmas lockdown. I'm sure it was, where they brought out Epic Games brought it out for free. And that's when the Epic Games launcher crashed because of the amount of people that were going to download it. And that was really my only... Yeah, that was really my only thing with GTA 5. I've just... What do you call it? Basically, I just mess about. What do you call it? With my mates and that. Doing the online races and whatnot.
That's what you do. That's what... We generally kick everyone else out of the... Well, we kick everyone else out of the map, and we just play by ourselves because it's more fun when just the group of friends play, because it's too much now where you know you go in and you just die. You know, there's a point of playing if you're just going in and dying. So I was like, okay, well, you know what, we'll just play by ourselves. We'll play on a server by ourselves and we'll stay like that because it's not worth it having.
Like it. Why would you want to? You spawn and you die. You spawn and you die, and you spawn and you die. It's
well, that's what.
I know.
That's why, and no, she doesn't. She actually just doesn't like GTA. Because she tried playing Red Dead Redemption, and she was like, "Oh, I hate this game." I'm like, but it's perfect. You can ride horses, and you can be a cowboy, and she loves horses. You can catch horses, and you can tame them, and you can sell them, and you can actually just you can be one of those kinds of people and play Red Dead like that. She won't even play Red Dead Redemption. She hates the game that much.
I like Red Dead better than GTA. So
to be honest, I actually like Red Dead a lot more than GTA 5 at the moment. I like GTA 5 because it's cars and stuff and I get to steal cars and piss people off. Well, people, not real people, just like in-game people when I'm playing story mode. But Red Dead will always be like one of those games that just sits right there at the top.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's one of the best. It's like I would call it the pinnacle of Western games.
You
don't get anything better than
I
that.
don't mind watching it. Like there were times where I would sit and watch it, but me to actually play it, I don't like it. But I also do remember that when the second one came out, the graphics were so pretty and they've got it. And so when the game came out, his brother-in-law was staying with us in South Africa, but his sister-in-law had
brother-in-law.
His brother.
You mean my brother?
His brother was living with us because he was getting ready to move over to the UK, and his wife was already in the UK. And like, you have to go and get an Xbox because they're not PlayStation fans, but you have to get Red Dead so that we can play it when I get there, because he liked the look of the game so much. That was funny. I remember that because it is pretty. It is a very pretty
it's a really nice game.
I won't.
Yeah, I was quite funny with my brother though. I also I would deliberately go behind the horse and say, "Check that horse's balls." And he goes, "Jesus, did they actually add balls to the horses?" Like, yeah, and they swing.
Yeah. And then they really got the shrinking colder weather and stuff like that. They actually added they added that into the game. Ball physics, ladies and gentlemen. Ball physics.
If ever you wanted to know what happens to a man's genitals when he lands up in cold water. Rockstar find the weirdest things to actually add in as a decent physics, like a decent
Yeah.
physics to the engines. And that's like the most arbitrary things. Okay, well, it gets cold, so the horse's balls should shrink. Okay. Why?
I feel sorry for the guy that had to actually go and edit that, like put that into the game. Just like, you want me to do what?
No. You know who I feel sorry for? The person who had to design and draw it.
Oh, yeah. What are you drawing
I think they
today?
only had to draw it
Balls.
Thankfully, it was only once. It's like, yeah, okay, but I may have to only draw it once, but I have to also make them shrink. It's not nice.
Oh God, what's the worst thing?
you, you know it's Rockstar when they do shit like that.
Yeah.
So you said you like puzzles. I started for us puzzles, but I do like that. Like I like looking at the box, and then when I try and build them, I get it, but I'm final pieces. We were having fun, but it still annoys me a bit. But why do you like it?
I just like it when I'm just like, well, first of all, you've just got everything like in pieces, and you're like, right, okay. And then when you eventually put that last piece in, you're like, oh yeah, serotonin. Happy chemicals in the head. I nearly never got that because with that, it was, what do you call it, the Hulk's chest, and I was missing one singular piece, and I was like, right, where is it? And I didn't move it from the kitchen table. Like, I literally overtook the kitchen table because I was doing this drawing. And my mom and dad said, can we take that off to have it done? And I was like, no, you're not moving that. I'm not taking that apart. I've gone so far. But what had happened, I think it was like one day, someone came over to look at it and leaned on the table, and there was a pile of green pieces because I separated them into green, blue, whatnot. And then they swiped it away, and then one of the pieces that I missed came off the table onto the floor and skidded under the table behind me. Because we were like a wee coffee table behind me, and it was close to the floor. So about 2 weeks later, I got down on my hands and knees and went, yep, there we go. And I put it in, and I was like, yes, I've completed. Oh, yes.
Have you ever tried a was-jig puzzle?
A was-jig puzzle?
A was-jig, the like jigsaw, but back.
You find them at W.H. Smith.
Oh no.
It's a backwards puzzle. It is so weird.
It's so cool though. So I remember when I was little, my mom, and basically you build the puzzle, but you're building it back. So when you hold it up to a mirror, then you see the rough. You're holding the mirror image of it. Everything is back.
That's smart. I like that.
And then you hold it up to the mirror, and then you can actually see what the puzzle is.
That's smart. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. It is that would be a very frustrating puzzle to build. Very frustrating puzzle. Yes, my phone is going insane today. My family in France is busy talking about how cold it is there. It's not really that cold. Yeah, it's like 4 degrees. It's mild.
We had that snow earlier on, was it last week? And that was a surprise when I woke up. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, kid got it for her birthday. She's very happy.
There you go.
She had birthday snow, so she was very happy. Well, sort of. This is pre-birthday snow. Because on her birthday, I took her to, what was that castle? Well, we went to Air. We went to Air first, and then there was a oh jeez, like where is it? That along the beach, there's that castle ruins. I can't remember what it's called. No, the other one. But yeah, I took her to the castle ruins for her birthday, and then we also went to Del Carn, I think it's called. The really big one, out in Air as well. Well, I think it's just outside of Air actually. But we went to that big one. And when it starts getting dark,
yeah.
it's really creepy. You walk around there and it's like, you hear the wind blowing through the building, she's like, whoa, that is creepy. That is really, really creepy.
I don't know if you've ever played Phasmophobia where you go and hunt the ghosts and stuff.
Yep.
On the way back to the car, we're like, we had a real life Baz moment there. It was so scary because the walk to the castle was really long and muddy, and the sun had already started to set. And then we got there, and it was getting darker. And then there was this one entrance that you had to go through, like the garden side, and it was just, you look through it, and it was pitch black. And we're like, no, we're not going that way. Let's go around. And then you go around, and there's this like really broken house, and then you see the castle in the background. We're like, okay, no, we're not going that way. And then you get to the castle, and then you see just this abandoned thing, and it's really pretty, but it's close.
Yeah, and the thing is, the pictures the pictures that you see there are quite bright because these phones have got really good cameras. It's rather dark. When we got back to the car, it was already like dark. So it was like I think it was about 4:30 when we got back to the car. So it was dark.
Yeah.
and it was like no. That it was like, oh, but it's not that eerie. You know, it looks quite nice. Like, yeah, you didn't see it the way we saw it.
And it was literally just no one else around. It was absolutely quiet. It was a real life Baz moment. It was really cool.
It was the worst walk ever because we had to walk through all the mud as well because we went around the back side of the castle instead of the front side. Apparently, there's 2 ways to get up. We didn't know that. So we found the one path that's like a tractor entrance for the farm as well. We walked that way, and of course, there's mud everywhere.
Yeah, you went the adventurous route.
Yeah. We ended up going through all the mud, walking out with like brown and black shoes. My shoes were supposed to be like white and black, and they came out brown and black. And the shoes were white, and they were just brown. It's like she trod in some horse shit. But yeah, so that was quite fun. Those castles, the castles here are unbelievable. They really are very pretty. There's some really like. Even the castle that my family name derives from is quite awesome. It's Craith Castle up in Aberdeen. Well, just outside Aberdeen. No? Is it? I don't know. It was 3 hours away from us. Very pretty. Very pretty castles. But enough of that. More about you. It's you.
You like scary games too.
Yeah,
I do like scary games.
Dude, Outlast. You shit yourself when that body came flying at you when you walked through that door for the first time.
Oh, an Outlast?
Yeah.
Aye.
Dude, I swear I jumped out of my skin, and it was the first time I ever actually got that kind of fright. Because Kez actually even saw me jump, and I don't jump normally, but that scared the crap out of me.
There's been a few times where I've been scared by things that are supposed to be scary, and scared by things that are definitely not supposed to be scary. Because in one of my clips, I made sure I clipped this in Resident Evil 7. I played through the entirety of Resident Evil 7 in VR, and I done that on stream. And yeah, there was people activating noises as what do you call it? In Edinburgh Fudge. I'm just gonna drop a wee name there because he had a field day spending, I think it was about £4 to just make a lassie like it was like a really vibrant scream from a lassie. And what do you call it? And I would just crap myself every time. Crap myself every time that happened. But what had actually happened was, see the boss fight with the father, the one with the chainsaw? I think it was.
I haven't played and finished the game, but you can explain that, yeah?
Oh, well, there's a part in it. I think we need to come back to that part, and you need to use a key against a door. So in VR, went down the stairs, put the key in the door. The menu came up. Press X to open the door. So open the door and I looked left, and then I looked right again. And because it's in VR, it's just the floating hands. So what do you call it? You don't have like the arms or whatnot. You don't have the character model, and the arm down the bottom right glitched out. So the bottom right, the arm went like that. And I crap myself. So basically, I was just sitting there, just going like that, and I just went.
Is this PSVR or on the VR on your PC?
PlayStation VR, yeah. So, and then there was another time I was playing a smaller game called I'm on Observation Duty, And I like to do wee other smaller wee games that have piqued my interest. And this one was one of them. It's if you think hide and seek, Five Nights at Freddy's and Spot the Difference put together. So what it is you're looking at some CCTV cameras and you need to go through. So you're looking at the kitchen. Right, it says right, what's in the kitchen? Got a painting over there. You've got a few cups on the table. There's pills on the dresser. There's a lamp over there. There's a chair over there. Right, okay, I know what this room. So you need to remember everything in this room, and you've got about 8 rooms. So, and then you go to the next room, do the same, and then you come back to that room, and you have to see if something's changed. So, and if something has changed, you need to flag it up, and then it will be cleared. And one of these instances, I think it was like the third game where you could actually walk around the place and you had a mobile phone on to take the pictures. And one of the ones was, I was like, all right, maybe, what do you call it? And I was having like really, really, like looking at it was like a reception area. So I was looking and I was like, right, okay, anything on the coffee desk? No. Right, and I went past the front door and this white thing just covered the bottom half of my screen. And I went, oh, what's that? And I looked down. What was it? It was a hand sanitizer station. and one of my viewers clipped that and named it "When the pandemic gets a little too much."
That's good. That's really good. I like that.
I love my horror games, so it's the story of everything because I just like horror because I'm a really big fan of Anthony Hopkins and the Silence of the Lambs series. And
Kez doesn't even know about whenever they crack jokes about like we were watching Will and Grace the other day because Kez loves Will and Grace, so we were watching that and they went to the prison to go and visit what's her name's husband, and Grace is walking around the one side and Will goes, "Don't step too close to the glass, Grace." Oh, Clarice. I burst out laughing. And Kez is like, I don't get it. And then he goes up to the glass and goes, and I burst out laughing again. And she's like,
I figured that it's from Silence of the Lambs because he does that quite often. So I knew it must be from that. But I've never seen them.
Oh, highly recommend it. It's a
I
brilliant
like it with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Even though it would call it a horror film and slightly gory, just the psychological behind it.
Yeah, psychologically, it's
brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want Kez to actually watch it. It's not really a scary jump scary kind of game. It's very psychological. You know, looking at the mind of Hannibal Lecter and also the fact that she's trying to actually capture or catch a serial killer but using Hannibal Lecter is ridiculously insane. So I thought it was a very well written story. It's one of the timeless classics. That movie is definitely a timeless classic. And I also got to get her to watch RoboCop though, and The Godfather.
Oh yeah. I just watched the series. I need to go and watch the rest of them.
Yeah. The third one apparently isn't that great though. I thought it was quite good though. Everyone says it's not that great, but I actually I enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad for me. So yeah, it was the second one was a bit like that ran a bit slowly, but the third one was at least decent. So I don't know. That's my opinion.
Ever played the Dark Anthology game?
Yes, I have that on my shelf actually. I think I played the first 2 or 3. It was the one when they were on the boat, and the one when they were on the witchcraft type one. Yeah, I played those 2, and the third one was it just a couple of months ago it came out.
Yeah.
I played those 2.
It's not. I've played all 3 of them. House of Ashes is good. The story.
Yeah.
It's not as scary as others. But the story is good.
Kat, what are you doing? She's like tiptoeing around the keyboard. She knows she can't step on keyboards. So, and now you can see her tail. Oh, she's tiptoeing around the keyboard because she knows she's not supposed to step on them, but she does. She stops and then she looks around and then she walks and she stops and she looks around.
I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I know it annoys you. Goodbye.
That is exactly what it is. It's not as bad as my one cat, the one that seems to hate her mom but loves me. She'll jump on my lap and try and get comfortable while I'm playing a game. Now it's fine because she sits like on my chair, sort of between my chair and my desk, but like on it. So I move my keyboard forward and I just play with everything forward. Then she insists on leaning forward and licking my hand, my mouse hand. So I'll be playing an FPS or something, and I'll be playing, and then I'll feel this lick and my hand shoots. My whole body just turns. So I'm looking another direction. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I sit there and I keep pushing her head away, and she's like, then she just comes back and goes for another leg. So I'm just like, no, you know what, screw you, turn around, and I pop her this way. She turns around and does it again. That's the kind of cat she is. She will not stop.
Or she'll just randomly start lifting.
Yeah.
You just look at her and she lifts her butt.
She's got this thing where if you don't even have to touch her, all you have to do is say her name and her ass goes up, because it's like, ooh, love me, ooh, love me, ooh, love me. So, but I mean, I don't have to move. I could be like, she sleeps next to me at night, right? But she sleeps at my back, and I don't move. I literally, I'll be lying as still as anything, and I'll just feel this ass going up and down the whole time. And it's from my breathing. So I'll breathe in, and her ass will go up. And then I'll breathe out, and she goes down. And then I'll breathe in, and her ass goes up. And then I'll breathe in and breathe out, and she goes down again. The cat is such a weirdo. She really is. But then again, we don't have normal cats. And what is a normal cat?
Yes, exactly. What is normal?
Exactly. But yeah, fun times with pets. That's how I said. So you're streaming. How long ago did you actually start doing the streaming thing? What got you into doing streaming?
It was May 29th. I officially started streaming. So the height of the lockdown in 2020, and really what happened was I just walked in and I seen my monitor and I just went, I could probably make something of this. Like because I always wanted my gaming PC, and eventually I got it. Next thing you know, lockdown hits and I'm like, well, why not? Why not just take the slight leap? Because it's always something that I've really been imagined myself doing, and my mum's, what do you call it? She's really, really supportive, and she went, no, I've always been able for you to see you, like, what do you call it, tackle like a small crowd or like a crowd of people, which is actually quite funny because I have very big stage fright. So, but the thing is, I can do things in front of a camera. I can't do them in front of an audience. What do you call it? That's just me. And
ooh, you know what we should do? We should find out where he stays and then just all go stand by his window and watch him.
No, you know what? Just get all the creators like Teeny and everyone.
Just like
from we'll all just go up to his window and just sit there and look at him. See how awkward it gets.
I bet they'll be playing a scary game when you come and do that. I'm gonna get a more jump scare than that.
I'll just knock on the window, dude. I always find the opportune moment. What's really awesome is I always find the perfect moments, like when you're sitting there and you're really concentrating, and you don't know if anything will jump out, but you're concentrating really hard. I'll just bash something.
Yeah,
I do it to Kez often. She'll like sit there and she'll be concentrating, and then I'll just go like poof, on the desk. She'll jump through it, and she'll jump out of her skin. But I love you. But yeah, so yeah, no, I don't know where my brain went there. Yes, that's what is it about that time. What's the time now? 52 minutes. Jeez. Damn. What time is your driving lesson?
1. So if you want to go over a wee bit, then
we can go over it, but we don't mind. Look, we don't want to obviously keep you from your driving lesson. But about driving lessons, when are you looking at just going straight for your driver's license so you can get a car?
I've slightly passed my theory. as well. So
Oh no.
I've got to do that, and then my work as well, because I'm doing my apprenticeship.
Oh, okay.
I'm a apprentice security engineer, so I'm gonna be going about doing jobs by myself. So as soon as I get my driver's license, I'm just gonna go, look, I've got my driver's license, but gonna give us a week to get really into driving. So I'm not gonna crash someone. And but because I'm coming to my last year, so I'm hoping. But what do you call it? Obviously, with everybody wanting driving lessons and whatnot just now, because of the pandemic and not everyone not being able to go, it's crowded as all hell, and it's usually 3-month wait time, 4-month wait time. So
it's very good that I have my driver's license, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Although, look, honestly, in South Africa, one of us had to have a driver's license, because in South Africa you have to have a driver's license. Everything is pretty far apart. The city is very close together, but like things are very close together. But most people stay out in the suburbs. So, you know, if you want to go and visit a friend, they live half an hour away by car, and sometimes an hour or 2 hours away by car. So you can't always rely on public transport, because the public transport in South Africa is not the greatest. So everyone has almost everyone has a driver's license in South Africa. Hence the reason why I have my driver's license. Coming here was easy. All I had to do was switch my license out for a UK license, because our licenses are so similar. What people don't realize, I mean, people from the UK know that driving in South Africa would be the same as driving in the UK, except that people disobey the rules in South Africa a lot more. Roundabout. They're a lot more here than there are in South Africa, and also in South Africa they don't know how to use a roundabout. They don't know that you've got to give way to the right. So they think it's a 4-way stop. So essentially everyone stops, and then it's basically these go, those go, these go, those go. It's how it works in South Africa, but it's not how it works here. They don't realize that in South Africa it doesn't work like that. And I'm pretty sure I've seen a few South Africans drive like that, where they're like, "Oh, I can go now." It's like, you can't go. I'm in the circle. Don't go. But this is more for the UK and the American people. American people think that, or say that, the UK license is the hardest license in the world to get. And I can assure you, it's not. It's the same as South Africa's license. They're exactly the same kind of licensing. You've got to be good at driving the car. You've got to understand how to drive the car. You got to keep your hands at 10 and 2. There's a whole bunch of rules that you have to follow when you're driving the car.
Yep.
Right, so you've got to be checking your blind spots all the time. You've got to be checking your mirrors all the time. It's a constant thing when you're doing your license. It's the same thing in South Africa. The difference between South Africa and the UK is, if you go for your license here, you'll get your license if you actually drive properly.
Yeah.
South Africa, if you go for your license there and you do your license properly, you do everything, you get even 100%, you'll have to give them a bribe. So you can get it. So you have to pay an extra like 1,000 rand, or 1,000 rand is probably about £600.
Anyway, it's also. But anyway, do you play any kind of board game?
Oh, well, whenever my family comes round, we always get the board games out, and it's, well, what do you call it? I'm literally the only youngster in my little family group, because you've got my 2 aunties, my 2 uncles, me, my mum, my dad, and that's the 7 of us. And I'm a huge fan of Cluedo. I love it.
Fun game.
What do you call it?
I think
Cluedo, and then my mum's favourite is Frustration. I think
Frustration.
It's the one where you've got 4 bits, so like it's split into red, green, yellow, and blue, and you've got a dice in the middle, and you pop it, and you have to. I think you need to get a 6 in order to get your piece out to go around the board, and then into your safe spot. If you, what do you call it? You'll get. I think you'll get it if you look it up. But
Probably.
What do you call it? It's so frustrating. That this is why it's called Frustration. Is that if you get the correct amount of points, so say what do you call it? I'm 5 in front of you, and then you hit the dice and you get a 5, you can knock me out. So you can take your piece, come onto me, replace my piece with yours, and then you put me back to home base. But this could be where I've came out, got a 6, came out, went all the way around the board, about to get into my home space, and then you came and knocked me out. So I need to go back and do that whole thing again.
It is terrible.
That sounds frustrating.
Yeah,
There you go.
I can understand frustration. I can actually understand why it's called frustration. That sounds painful. Now the games we normally play are like your Dunes and Eldritch Horror and what other games?
Games like we've got Exploding Kittens and I want to get Unstable Unicorn. And we've got
Mousetrap.
Oh, Mousetraps, classic.
We've got Crab.
Yeah.
That we've never played, but it's
I'll get that checked out.
it looks fun. You have to play as couples though, and that's the whole thing. It's going to be 2 people on either team. So and that's why we haven't played it yet.
Is your queue somewhere?
Ah, there you go.
You've got crabs. No, I don't.
No, I'm not.
Oh, it's like you've got crabs. Who told you? That would be the ultimate, right? Yeah. So with the PS5 now coming out, there's one game that is coming out in 3 months. I pre-ordered it because I wanted the special edition. I had to get the steelbook. But are you a Gran Turismo fan?
I am not. I did try and play it at one point, but I've never really found like a racing game that I've really went, yes, I love this. Other than what was that one? Paradise City.
Oh, Paradise City. Jeez, that's not a bad game though.
What do you call it? I think that came out free on the PS4 or the PS3 one time, and I just went, all right, there's a free game. I'll download that, and it was just the music. What do you call it? That I literally just skipped all the radio channels until I found the song Paradise City, and I just drove about just to that song.
That's pretty cool.
That's probably my only memory of that game. Actually, pretty sure that was the only thing I'd done.
As there's not many games like really good aside from that. What other games are you enjoying on
Spider-Man.
Haven't played
Marvel.
it yet.
Marvel Spider-Man, which came out in the PS4. I'm actually going to go play through it again because I've got a very good friend, Queso, which is Pudge's sister. She's like, Tam, when are you playing it? I'm going to go nick your PS. She's got this, like, I don't know how, but she's apparently going to steal my PS5 somehow. And this has been a recurrent thing. And I just went, no, you're not stealing my PS5. But
To get a hold of. Screw you.
yeah, exactly. And so I didn't actually realise this until I looked it up last week, where I can get a free upgrade for Spider-Man on the PS4. I can get a free upgrade to the PS5 edition.
Oh, nice.
So what do you call it? I literally just put the disc in and upgrade it. And then Miles Morales, I played through that. I loved that. I like the Peter Parker one better, but I like that as well. And then of course Spider-Man 2, which is coming out in 2020. I think it's 2022 or 2023. End of 2022, 2023. Something like that. And but a love of mine is also God of War.
Oh, God of War. God of War's always good. Yeah, I take it you've got PS Plus.
Yes.
Okay, so you obviously got the whole PS Plus collection that you get on PS5. That is pretty cool addition. I like what they did there because it gives us quite a few free games to just jam from the PS4. I thought that was quite good. But did you hear that they're looking at doing the same similar thing that Microsoft did with Game Pass? They're looking at doing the same thing from the PS Plus standpoint, which is quite cool. Because then that opens up a whole new avenue to Sony to actually be able to make more money on that side as well.
Yeah.
Because then people will be able to play games on their PS5s a lot easier. They won't have to spend, unbelievable amounts of money on games as well. That they shouldn't have to spend money on if they're not that expensive, and they just have to pay a subscription every month to play it. That's a good idea to me. Personally, I think it's one of the best ideas that they've come up with.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm quite happy to actually do that, and I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be quite fun. What about The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk? Their upgrades to PS5. Do you hear they're coming out? They'll be coming out in a few months' time.
All right, I didn't hear that. Cool.
Yeah, Witcher 3. I'll tell you now when The Witcher 3 is coming out, or when the upgrade for the Witcher 3 is coming out. They did say that they're bringing it out soon. They just want to make ssure that both of them are ready for the PS5. This is Cyberpunk and
yeah, we don't want another GTA trilogy, do we?
No, we don't. It was bad enough that Cyberpunk came out broken as well.
Yeah, I nearly bought that as well because I nearly put that down on my Christmas list.
We pre-ordered it and for the PS4 and out. But I played it from start to end, bugs and all. But it's enjoyable. If you have the mindset like one of our friends, and you see the bugs as part of the game, so not like it being it's the game that we fixed, but being part of the world.
Yeah.
As you're sick and you're dying, so if you see the bugs as part of that, it kind of works. But either way, it's still fun.
All right, so it looks, from what I can see here, it's second quarter of this year. They're looking at releasing the upgrades. From what I can see, second quarter of this year, they're releasing both upgrades free as well. So it's not going to cost you a penny to actually to upgrade the games from PS4 to PS5, which I think is a good idea because CD Projekt Red sort of have to save some face after Cyberpunk. So what people don't realize, and this is something that I actually spoke to another content creator about as well, though, is that The Witcher 3 also came out very broken. It came out very broken as well. People didn't know that because most people only jumped into the game after most of the bugs were fixed. But The Witcher 3 and The Witcher 2 both came out very broken. And
The Witcher 1 is still
broken, yeah. I'm busy playing that at the moment. And
that's why I said that, because you were standing the one time and the day was going like.
Yeah, you just stand in a room.
Like I woke up Sherry, the one witch. I woke her up to speak to her about a mission, and her hair was bobbing up and down in a closed room where there is no wind. Her hair's going bunk, 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 and my hair's like going. I was like, wow, this game is broken. It's fun, but it's broken. So yeah, no, the Witcher series though, it's actually quite a good game. I've really been having a lot of fun with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what CD Projekt Red do with that. Hopefully it'll be worth the money.
We always hope
You weirdo. Sorry?
So we always hope it's for our money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't want to buy a game that's not value for money. Like, I bought one of the best games ever, MechWarrior 5. I bought that on PS5. It is so cool when you play with the haptic feedback. When you play with the haptic feedback and your guns start overheating, it starts getting harder to fire them. It's so cool. And then obviously with Hitman 3, you can take a picture with the camera and it feels like you're actually taking a picture. It's really cool. So I love the haptic feedback on the controller. I think that was one of the best things Sony could have done was actually do that.
Yep.
I'm hoping that their new VR is going to have the same thing, because imagine that in VR, like playing in VR and you actually
scary.
So, well, I'm actually going to go and set that up. What do you call it? I've got my Oculus Quest as well. So
nice.
And I didn't realize this, but you could go and set it up for what do you call it? Connect it into your PC and do Steam games. so I could
Yeah.
actually play the Half-Life game, the best VR game that came out.
Yeah, that what's it called?
Alexis or something like
Alex, yeah, Alex.
that. Yeah, and
that's
that was
Nice, dude. That's gonna be quite awesome, though. Now I've got to jump on my PS4 and play some No Man's Sky again.
oh yes,
But no,
I've got that as well.
What a game! And you get sick really quickly when you go in space. But once you're used to it, though, it's quite fun. It actually is really quite fun. I think that's going to be about it, though, isn't it? It's about time. What's the time now? What do we want? We're on? Hour and 8 minutes. Yes, we have called time. See, we normally do our podcast for an hour because it's a decent amount of time for everyone to listen to us banter about crap. Anyway, what we want to know from you, Tam, is where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and of course Twitch.
Just don't dox.
What?
Don't dox yourself.
Just put your social. I'm not sure your actual address.
No, nobody call it. On Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot, and yeah, if you don't see me on the street, walk the other way. I'll give you that look in the eye, just like that. Yeah, I know. Keep walking. And
Move along.
just move along. Yeah, I've been known I'm photogenic on my Instagram apparently, but yeah, everything on my Instagram, I just go, yes, what will be funny, and then it just comes into my head and go, yes, let's do that. And I just go and do it. So why not? But yeah, that's where you can
It's Instagram, Twitch, and you said Twitter.
Twitter as well. I use Instagram more. Twitter is really just for posting when I go live and whatnot, and I might put up like something stupid that I just think of and I just put it on there just for why not. And
Advertise when our videos go up on Twitter. That's the only thing we do. We're very inactive on Twitter. Right, cool. So those are all the places you can find. We're going to put them down in the links below, guys, so you can actually see him, and you can find out where he goes from there. Kez is quite on the ball when it comes to that kind of stuff. She knows what she's doing. She's pro. She's pro. But anyway, yes. Tam, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful. We've had a lot of fun, obviously, chatting about. I told you, it goes from standard conversation. Like, it goes way off, and that's the whole fun of this podcast. We never really just talk and stay talking the same thing. It goes geek, like, in opposite directions, which is quite awesome. But anyway, yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, Tam. It's been wonderful. Guys, remember you can check him out there. That's where you can find him in all those places, and you can find us at all the places you know where you can find us. If you're watching us here, you know you can find us everywhere else. And I think that's about it, guys. You know how to do it. Just hit us if you like that video. If you like the video, hit the like button. That one down below. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. You'll never know if you disliked it because you won't see it, but we will, and we don't care because we don't. Just tell us why you didn't like the video because everyone will see why, and then we will be able to we'll fix whatever the issue was because that's the kind of people we are. Anyway, hit the subscribe button if you really liked us. Because it's always good to have some more subscribers. It really is. But remember, guys, as always... Yes, you took a long time this time. Keep it geeky!